First of all, let me clarify that there is no sect in the Ahmadiyya Jamaat, not even one. Because in the beginning, I mentioned the difference between a religion and a sect. The religion is something which believes in those fundamental tenets, principal tenets, which are different from others. The belief or the principal tenet of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat are fundamentally two. First one is that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad ﷺ is a prophet of God. And the second is that we have Khilafat ala minhaj an-nubuwwat after the promised Messiah, as he said in the Wasiyat. These are our two fundamental pillars of our Jamaat. Everyone else, they either reject both of them or one of them. So they are not our sect. They are different Jamaat, they are different religion. They are your sects because they agree with you. Lahoris agree with you regarding the prophethood. They agree with you regarding the kufr or not kufr of non-Ahmadis. And I mentioned here that when we say kufr, we means kufr duna kufr, which is mentioned by Imam Bukhari, we mentioned Imam Muslim, in Tirmizi, in Hakim, and in so many other narrations, and also by other scholars, that when you say that man taraka salata muta'ammadan faqad kafara, sibabul muslim fusuqun wa qitaluhu kufr. If someone does not offer the prayer intentionally, he is a kafir. When he kills a Muslim, he is a kafir. So would you say that Nauzubillah, Aisha Siddiqa Radhiyallahu anha was kafir and Ali Radhiyallahu anha was kafir and Imam Muawiyah was kafir? Because they killed each other. We can't. Because they were not. And this has been mentioned as kufr duna kufr. Now, as far as quoting me, I'm not authority. If I say something and that is entirely wrong, then Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat is not responsible for that. And even I'm not responsible because I can take my words back. I'm not relying upon me and Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat is not relying upon me. Many of us do so many mistakes, and when it is pointed that we did mistake, then we take our words back. But in 1954 Court of Inquiry and in 1974 both of our Khulafa, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani Radhiyallahu Ta'ala anhu and Khalifatul Masih Salis Rahimahullah Ta'ala, they explained very well. And I regret that my brother studied Aina Sadakat and all others, but he did not study his statement which he mentioned in 1954 Court of Inquiry. He said that whenever I said kufr, it is kufr duna kufr. And I say that all the Muslim sects in the Muslim Ummah, you are our brothers. We cannot say that you are not our brothers in faith, you are. Because we believe and we agree in the same principle. And if there would have been any roof or anything else, then the Holy Prophet ﷺ must have mentioned it. That there are only pillars and there is no roof. As I remember that some Sunnis try to add into a hadith, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said that Ana Madinatul Ilm wa Ali Babuha. And they say, how can a city be without walls and without roof and without all these things? So he said that Ali is the door and Abu Bakr is the wall and Umar is the roof and this and that. So they try to add into it. And the similar thing is being done by my brother here, that it's not only pillar. If there would have been, the Holy Prophet ﷺ must have mentioned that this is the roof and this is the wall and this is this, this is that. And we are not here to discuss whether Mirza Ghulam Ahmad ﷺ was a prophet of God or not. It is entirely another topic and we can discuss with it, and I invite him to fix another date, and then we first of all should mention what are the criteria for a prophet, a claimant of prophethood, to be a true prophet or a false prophet. Then we'll discuss all those criteria. Then we'll see whether Mirza Ghulam Ahmad ﷺ is falling under the category of a true prophet or a false prophet. Thank you.